Welcome, my friends, to the world of HeroQuest, a place unlike any other. And today, we went on an adventure to try to track down HeroQuest First Light at our local Target. This is the Fair Weatherman. Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. We actually went yesterday on January 11th and tried to find the game just to see if it was out. There were reports of it on Reddit being on the store shelves before you can actually purchase it. And in our case as well, there were 4 copies on the shelf. We went to self-checkout just to see what would happen, and there was an alert posted saying we couldn't purchase. So we did go back today and we did find ourselves a copy of it. And we're gonna go over just initial thoughts real quick. I don't really want to do a complete unboxing. We've already seen a couple successful videos of that. Please stay tuned. I'm gonna have another video posted shortly on my elven furniture set and how I painted that up. I was just too excited to show y'all what it looks like and give you my first thoughts on First Light. I hope everyone gets a chance to run out to their local Target and pick one up. Target had a good idea to take the blow dryer to this and take off the sticker and keep it, which I think I might try to do too. But here we are. All right, we'll quickly get through the contents of this box down to the most important thing, which is that dragon mini. We got the quest book, we got the rule book, we got a smaller amount of character sheets than the core box set. The Game Master screen is a bit smaller. Tiles look to be about the same. Got the really cool double-sided game board that folds up 6 ways, and here we are at the dragon. Wow, this dragon is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Compared to the Dwarf, which looks a lot like the Dwarf from the Advanced HeroQuest game. And there's any question about it that this sculpt is literally the exact replica of the Dwarf from Advanced HeroQuest, just changing out some of the weapons and scaling them up a little bit. Here they are. Our 4 new hero sculpts. Very cool. One thing people did say that this was a dice rolling tray. I don't believe that. It's just a piece of cardboard, like a really flimsy one. In fact, the one that's over here is even more flimsy. They didn't even bother like taping it together or folding it together. So it's not much of a dice rolling tray. Is it cool with the dragon scales on it? Yeah, but it's not much of a dice rolling tray. What I'll probably do is ditch this plastic, maybe put my advanced game system decks in here, as I'm running out of room in my actual box, and then punch everything out, stick them all on the bottom of this one. That's what I'll probably do. Careful not to tear any of the paper. Furniture. Now, I will say one thing that I'm a little disappointed about is the cardboard furniture. I realized they had to cut the price of this game down to make it more giftable, which is what I'm choosing to do. I'm going to give the one that's coming in the mail on Thursday that I pre-ordered over to my niece for her birthday. But, you know, as a kid, the furniture was where it was at. I really don't see how this is going to excite many 8-year-olds like it did for us in the late 80s, early 90s, because, you know, on the board, it's not all that interesting, you know, compared to a real one. I mean, what they could have done, quite honestly, is they could have still made furniture out of cardboard and gave us the furniture that we got in the original release, where they just had to print a few bits of plastic to fold the cardboard up into it. I think if they had gone that retro and actually given us that original 1989 cardboard furniture, man, I think this release would have been even larger and had more excitement behind it. And I don't see how it could have been that much more expensive to print a couple, you know, pieces of plastic to hold the fireplace in and the plastic to hold the tables and the treasure chest together. But that's just my point of view. If this would have been original, if this would have been so retro that it looked like the 1989 release, even with the standees, I think this would have been perfect. But we got 10 new quests, and that's exciting, written by Stephen Baker, and I think that's great. I think the dragon is well worth the money, and the 4 hero sculpts are gonna be well worth the money. So let's get them on the table and see what they look like. All right, here we are with the new Cavern setup. The figures go on fairly easy. These are really nice plastic stands. I do like how you get the female and the male version of the monsters. So we're gonna set these up and see what they look like on film. I will say that the Cavern map is beautiful. It really is exciting to think about all the possibilities and all the quests that we can go on and homebrew. It's probably one of the most exciting things about this release. We also get a brand new deck of cards as well, which I'll just end up creating a card box for and sticking back in there. There are some minor changes to some of these cards, like the Dwarf, starting with the hand axe. But if you haven't seen my video on how to play the HeroQuest card game called Treasure Quest that I adapted, this would be a perfect set to keep one of those sleeved up to play on the go. The most notable new feature is the dragon card that we get, and I'm super excited to sleeve this one up in my Monster Compendium book, where I had left a spot open for the dragon. And there we go, right alongside the Dread Cultist. I love the new hero sculpts as well. But I will say it would have been nice if they would have given us the alternative sculpts that we are missing still from the Mythic tier release. It would have been cool if we had a female dwarf and a female wizard, but I guess we'll have to wait for the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness and the possible release of Wizards of Morcar. I will say any one of us who has the core game system with all of the furniture pieces will have no problem interchanging the tile overlays with actual furniture and bringing to life this standee board game in a different way with miniatures. But as you can see, the standee two-dimensional monsters just get lost amongst the board at certain angles when I go to record. The wizard's looking pretty awesome there though, with a fire spell ready to launch. At the end of the day, even though we have standees instead of actual figures, it's still HeroQuest. And the 10 new quests that we get in the quest book by Stephen Baker is going to be one awesome thing to jump into and get started playing. Even if it's a new set of heroes that run alongside the initial core system, I think it's still exciting and there's still an opportunity to add new people into your already existing gameplay by starting them out with the quest book. Thank you all so much for tuning in today and listening to my first thoughts on First Light. I hope that this video encourages y'all to go out to your local Target and pick one up, support Avalon Hill and this attempt to bring this board game into more households and to bring and share the love of HeroQuest to the next generation. And as always, your very survival depends on your ability to work together, for no true hero stands alone. Come, let the quest begin.